In this example, we're going to evaluate various expressions involving the function f, where f of x is defined by x squared over the quantity x plus 1. The first one we'll look at is f of negative x, and the key here is to recognize that our input is negative x. So when we evaluate this function, we're just going to replace every instance of x that we see with negative x. So we'll put in negative x for our input, and then we look at the original definition, see where x is, and every one of those just turns into a negative x now. So we'll have the quantity negative x squared over negative x plus 1. And when that simplifies, we'll get x squared over the quantity negative x plus 1. In the next example, we'll look at negative f of x. And this differs in that we're now multiplying f of x by a negative 1. So the simplest way to write that is that that output is just negative now. So we'll have negative, and here's our x squared over x plus 1. Now, if we want to work with this a little bit further, we can note that that negative can be written as negative 1 over 1 times this x squared over x plus 1. And so as a single rational expression, that negative can be written in the numerator as negative x squared over our x plus 1. Coming over to example G, we're now looking at f of 2x. So we can see that 2x is now this input. So again, we'll look at our original definition for f, and we'll just replace every instance of x this time with a 2x. So I'll have f of 2x, and now in the numerator we'll have the quantity 2x, and that'll be squared. And we'll divide by then the quantity 2x plus 1. When that simplifies, our numerator will be 4x squared, since we essentially took 2x by 2x, and denominator will stay as 2x plus 1. The last example we'll look at is f of, and then evaluated at this expression, x minus 2. So we say f of x minus 2, and we keep in mind now that we're evaluating f at x minus 2. So that input is now x minus 2. And as we look at that, f of that x minus 2, so we again use that original definition for f, which says that we take our input and we square it. So now we have x minus 2 as a quantity squared in the numerator, and in the denominator we have x minus 2 and then plus 1. To simplify that, I'll expand this numerator out and I'll get x squared minus 4x plus 4, and in the denominator I'll just have x minus 1.